Hello everybody, welcome to another Eternal video. We're going to be doing a deck today that's revolving all around the new cards from Into Shadow, a brand new campaign from Direwolf. We've got some really cool new cards. We're running three in particular: Tome of Repetition, Vara, Vengeance Seeker, and Azindel, none of which we have in this hand, but I do like it. The deck is all about using a lot of spellcraft weapons to gain massive advantage, specifically with Tome of Repetition and Horde Plunderer. So Tome of Repetition will allow us to play multiple spellcrafts off of a single spellcraft trigger, and Horde Plunderer will allow us to do it for free. So we're going to try and kind of ramp up using a lot of those kinds of shenanigans. A little bit heavy on the power here. I want to give a big shout out to, right at the start, while I can, to all of the wonderful subs and patrons who do make this possible, and of course to my sponsor, inkgaming.com. I do a lot of cool custom playmats and mouse pads and other cool gaming gear. You should definitely give them a try. And I now have a new channel shirt, so you can check that all out down below, and as well as looking at the deck tech, where I kind of explain exactly how this deck operates. I think that we're going to want to hold up Equivocate. I'm a little worried about... yeah, like, I'm scared of Teacher here, honestly. Teacher got nerfed, still an insane card. So we're going to get rid of that for now. It looks like they might be mono time. It's hard to tell so far because only been 2 actual power cards. We'll see what's happening. Yeah, definitely not mono time if that's what's happening. I'm going to guess... oh! Alright, well maybe I'm wrong. They're playing mono time with Amber Acolytes. That could be interesting.
It's written right here.
Gonna get a couple of Temple Scribes down. Oof. Draw a lot of power cards here, unfortunately. Hoping to try and find a like Tome of Repetition so we can slam on one of these. We're just trying to find things that we can put that eventually we can put some attachments onto, some of the weapons on. And actually draw those attachments. Alright, Horde Plunderer is nice. We're going to wait and play Sandstorm Titan first, because I'd really like to use this once we actually have a weapon. Oof. It's a lot of power here. Our opponent seems to have a lot too, but they've actually got the top end. I don't. That's kind of bad. Sure, we can definitely take one. We need to have things to slap this onto. Okay, so now we can get a Tome of Repetition, so that's nice. Just immediately grab that. Play a Crest. I'm not going to play the Tome yet. More power cards. Because we want to be able to Horde Plunderer and then Tome and immediately Spellcraft-wise. I'll take the damage for now. See what our opponent gets up to. Soaring Guards. That's what we obviously equivocated. And another Tome of Repetition. Which does let us, like, really power up. I'm not sure that I want to put them all onto one unit here. Maybe, though. The reason being that I might be okay with that is they look like they are mono time, so they're basically just going to have Killer as a way to interact with it. Not a lot that kills us for 8. Plus, it allows us to actually block the 6/6. Now we can get every power card in our deck. And off we go. Every Sigil, anyways. We're pretty well set up to draw some of our top end now. And we have thinned our deck a lot, so that's good. We've already put some of the crests on the bottom, too. So I'm hoping that we draw some really live cards here in a minute. Surgeon Saw. That's pretty solid. We can buy back our Sandstorm Titan and our Temple Scribe. We unfortunately have... ooh, actually, I wonder if we just want to throw in with, like, the Elysian Merchant or our Temple Scribe and have them try and block. Because if we can get that to happen, then we can Surgeon Saw 4 times this turn. So I'm going to do that. See if they'll just eat one of them. Or both. Ideally, they just eat both. Please. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. Come on. Yeah, darn. Really, really silly to not just take 2 damage, even if you don't know what your opponent's doing. Just in case I made the mistake, yeah. Darn.
It's written right here.
Let's Temple Scribe, see what we get. Azindel, perfect. Alright, and we're gonna play Sandstorm Titan. We can Azindel next turn, I think. We have a 4/9 Lifestealer. And we can double block the Worldbearer Behemoth if we want. I'm leaving Azindel back for now because I want to just have it as a surprise next turn. Maybe I should have played it, though. Azindel would have worked perfectly before we actually had the Dark Return, because, man, we could have slammed in, and when they didn't block, we just get extra cards off of them. So good. And then if they did, then we just get to draw these. What I really need right now is a Cirso's Cleaver. Is Xenan Initiation. So we'll use that to kill something like Sandstorm Titan. Yep. And now they can attack. They certainly should. With the 6/7, yep. Just to get more power. Really, really strong turn for our opponent. Hopefully we can get a Cirso's Cleaver and just wreck them. That would be ideal. Equivocate's certainly not bad.
Now you shall witness true power.
We're going to get rid of this now before they have a chance to attack with it. And do we want to swing in with the team? We do get to draw some cards off of them. Losing the Tome of Repetitions would be kind of bad. But we have a lot of extra power already. Do we really need to have extra tomes? If we attack all, we draw a couple of cards unless they just, like... We at least draw one card off of them. If they do this block, and then, like, block everything else. I think this is actually okay. And they can choose to kill the 4/9. But it does mean that they give up all of the extra power that they have from the Initiates. I'm kind of okay with that. Sure. Give me some cards off of your deck for free.
It's written right here.
Scribe and pass. Azindel can either block their Worldbearer Behemoth, or we can use the deadly units. Vara is obviously going to be pretty solid here. A little bit awkward that they have the Soaring Guard, because they can sacrifice that. Is that what we... No, okay. They just drew that. I was like, oh no, is that what we gave them? Because that sucks. They're not going to have any pump spells, so I'm okay blocking for Azindel. I know that sounds a little crazy, but I want these to hit. Because they're going to have some really big, beefy creatures that we can bust through with. If we can steal a bunch of their big units, that's going to be awesome. And I mean, maybe they have Killer, but if they had Killer, I think they would have done that before. They might have top-decked it. Ah, nice. Yeah, Azindel tends to make people want to quit. Like, even if they don't actually lose to it, it's so frustrating to know that you're going to give a bunch of your cards to your opponent, and for so cheap, that it's just like, there's often no real point in wanting to continue with that. Hey, people really, really hate that. Me too. I'm not a huge fan of losing to that card. It's nasty. Azindel is just straight dirty. Ooh, here we are with game 2. We've got Elysian Merchant, so we can jump into the market and grab our Tome of Repetition. The problem that I have with this, though, is that, obviously, we're a little short on power. So we do have double scout. We are on the draw. I'm not sure if I would like to keep this. It's a really slow hand, too. If they're actually aggressive, we could be in a ton of trouble. It's probably better to redraw this. I'm so split on this one. Alright, I'm going to redraw. Well, this one has a lot of power. Azindel is a great finisher. Not one that we really want to have in our opening hand, but as long as we can draw, like, a Horde Plunderer or a Elysian Merchant or something like that, we'll be able to go off pretty easily. Okay, sweet. There's Elysian Merchant. So we get the Tome of Repetition. That'll help us just start ramping up real fast. Next turn, we're going to seek power, I think, and play a Crest again. We could also double seek, maybe.
Time quickens.
And our opponent... Whoa! Also ramping a whole lot. I do not like that at all. Well, let's get a power card. And I think I'm going to Crest. Sandstorm Titan. I do like Sandstorm Titan. Stops a lot of aggression. If they're Praxis tokens, it'll be good. If they're Praxis, like, mid-range, it's generally pretty decent. Okay. Looks like tokens. I almost didn't play our time. Oof, I would have felt very dumb in half a second. And let's grab the Tome and pass the turn. So next turn we can Sandstorm and Seek Power, and then after that we're going to Tome of Repetition and double it up. It's best on 6. Opponent just doesn't crash in at all. Excellent for us. There's no real need for anything extra at this point. We have all the colors that we need, but just like any sigil at all is fine.
Which would you like?
I'm going to guess they get a deadly. Yep. That's fine for us, though. And we get to go Tome and play 2 secret pages. Getting a whole lot of power out of our deck. We're now already at Azindel. And we can actually Gleaming Shield the Azindel soon, too. Oh, wow. Yeah, we're doing real nice. I think we slam Azindel here. There's not a lot of ways that they can kill it. And even if they do, we've got the Surgeon Saw. And if we can start drawing cards off of their deck, it's just busted. They shall witness true power. Yeah, this is nasty. And fight. Let's see what we draw off their deck first, before we bother doing too much. Rally. Okay, we can switch Rally out for a market card, which is kind of nice. We can actually just get another Azindel, even. Let's go Crest of Impulse. Don't need another Crest, so let's go swap this, get an Azindel, and I'm going to play our Vara Vengeance Seeker, actually.
Now it's my turn.
Gonna be willing to start throwing in some of our extra big creatures because we can just Surgeon Saw 2 of them back. Praxis tokens looks to be in a really bad position against this. Like, they can make a lot of tokens, but it's not going to do a whole bunch against what we have here. I wonder if this actually works twice. Okay, I'm kind of curious. This isn't because it's necessarily better. I just want to see if this actually works. Do we get 4 cards? Oh my goodness. I think we do. I think we get 4 cards. Oh goodness. Yeah, we get 4 cards. That's so dumb. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Wow. Sure.
Time quickens.
Yeah, and we're going to slam in with a lot next turn. This is busted. This is... Why are they still playing this game? We're just going to obliterate this and just start slamming with the team.
Now, fire!
Yeah, I think even the whole team, honestly. Wait, but come back! We were still playing. On to game 3. Obviously, this hand is not keepable. We've been doing pretty well with this deck so far, though. It's been a lot of fun. Ooh, Horde Plunderer right away. We've got Equivocate as removal. Yeah, I like this hand quite a bit. It's a little bit slow, all these crests and stuff, but we've shown that we've got enough power that we can tend to kind of hold off and win these games. Crest of Cunning is tough. I want more power cards right now, but it doesn't actually get a Sandstorm Titan. Oh, wait, sorry. We did play one already. So that will. I think we had to keep that then. It is awkward that this is a 4 and this is a 5. Yeah, especially if they're aggressive. Definitely an issue. That being said, we'll do it this way. Surgeon Saw. Pretty nice on Sandstorm Titan. Lifesteal is going to be good. But they're playing Stone Scar. They probably have some forms of, like, Annihilate. Stuff like that. I think I'm going to bottom that and see if we can't just get, like, more big units. Like, a Vara would be amazing. Vara is super annoying for these decks to deal with. Crest of Mystery. Alright. Yeah, Azindel is a little too big. It's really good as a finisher, but we'd rather have like another Titan or Vara or something. Or even just an Elysian Merchant. Think we could Equivocate right now, but I'm going to wait. A 2-1's not a huge deal for us. The Warcry is relevant, but not huge, especially when we have Cirso's Cleaver running around. We can take the 2 damage and get whatever they play now.
It'll get the
Ixton
job
Merchant.
done, guaranteed.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about. Wonder what they grab here. Maybe like a Highwayman or a Bandit Queen. A lot of things that could be pretty good. I'm going to put it in their hand. Not amazing. That's certainly not the card that I wanted to get, but it's fine.
All mine.
Xenan Banner, put that on the bottom. And now we're really just looking for our opponent to not play anything too strong. Now, it's not bad for us, actually. We basically needed them to not kill Horde Plunderer. Now we can play the Elysian Banner and just get both. And there's a Tome of Repetition. Oof. Oh, I really need this to live. Would I like to play Feeding Time? Yeah. I think I would. Tome of Repetition next turn is awesome. Free Tome is pretty sick.
Please, no.
Interesting. Bait doesn't do a whole lot, not with Equivocate around. So let's go play some Secret Pages. Get a whole lot of power cards. And we'll Crest. Oh wow, Elysian Merchant's awesome. I could wait until they get a 7/7, because it's going to take them a really long time to actually play anything again off of it. They need 8, so that's 3 more turns. Gives us a lot of time. I don't really want them preventing the damage. If I do this, they get a 6. They can do, well, they get a 5, so they do it right away. There's still a lot of 5s that aren't particularly relevant, though. And I'm just going to attack with 1. I'm not going to do the Berserk yet. Just because with what we gave them on a 5, they could have something pretty decent, and I might want to hold back. Shadowlands Guide.
Die with honor.
Getting Oni Ronin and Oni Ronin. I'm just going to play Sandstorm Titan and pass. I'm not sure what I want to draw here. Anything is kind of okay, because if it's something that's not super relevant, then I can just get, like, Azindel.
Come forth.
Life Speaker, and Lethray Nightshade, which is one of our Equivocates. Ooh, hello. Oof. I mean, I would like to Elysian Merchant, but I feel like this is a little stronger. Would I like to play a 0-cost Feeding Time? Sure. Would I like to play another one? Yeah, probably. That seems okay. And pass the turn. Now we really start swinging. I might have wanted to get in with the 5/9 there. I'm being a little bit overcautious, but we've got the inevitability. Memory Dredger, unfortunately, does not fly. Oh, and my opponent scoops. But why? Alright, this deck's doing okay. I like this. On to game 4, 3-0 so far. This deck's been performing pretty well. I have to redraw this. If we had double Primal, maybe it's a possibility, because we can actually play Wisdom of Elders, but without being able to play that, we need a power for Vara. We're on the play, so getting that's a little bit tougher. We can't play a single card in our hand. That's sketchy to me. Speaking of sketchy, this one might be where we finally lose. We need to draw some really good ones. I definitely have to keep Seek Power so we can get some Primal, and then we need another Primal hit right away. At least we can do another Scout, so we'll have Annihilate. We will have one Primal. If we can find another one, then we might be okay. This hand can be really strong. We get a lot of draw off of it. Just you know, kind of an issue beyond that. Temple Scribe. I mean, I don't mind that. It does draw us another card. It is something we can play. I think I keep it. I'm pretty iffy on that, because obviously we need to draw down to Primal. But this does the same thing, essentially, as bottoming it. It just uses our power, so I don't know. It's a tough one. It does give us a unit to put things like Tome of Repetition on, too, so it's kind of nice to keep it. Oh, we might be against Temporal, which will be really annoying, as it always is. Strap in for a long game, I think. All of our stuff that's good against units isn't going to be particularly relevant against them. Azindel's kind of nasty, but you have to actually have units that have lived so far, and them not being able to wipe the board immediately, which is not likely. Their deck is literally nothing but board wipes and removal. It's just ultimate stall. Very, very few ways to actually win a game. So we could be here for quite some time.
It's written
We'll
right
Scribe
here.
it again. Wish I could get rid of this Annihilate now. Sorry, you might hear a little meow in here. My kitty's deciding to come by and say hello. We need one more Primal. Alright, here we are. So one of the big things that we've got to remember is we don't want to put too much power onto the board, especially not protected. Gleaming Shield could be kind of nice. Tome of Repetition is interesting. I kind of want to keep that. It lets us ramp a bunch, and then we can hopefully get Gleaming Shield down. And Elysian Merchant, unsurprisingly. Yeah, just the very, very prototypical, they took it off of Eternal Warcry kind of temporal deck. They probably have some Unseals. They're going to have Desert Marshals and all that regular kind of stuff. Scorpion Wasp. Sword of the Sky King as a finisher. So we get Horde Plunderer and Tome of Repetition a bunch of times, which is okay. It does mean that they're just going to wipe the board, but I might be okay with that right now.
It's all mine.
That extra ramp is kind of important, so I like doing that. I'm even willing to just throw away a unit here because it's so likely that they're just going to kill everything. And if they don't, well, hey, we could be in a pretty decent position. Moondial. Cool. We can actually use Equivocate defensively, which is nice. Okay, now I'm going to Annihilate. Opponent will not respond. I could Gleaming Shield and immediately give a mirror image to Horde Plunderer. Have 2 Aegis Horde Plunderers. That could be good. And we make another copy as well, thanks to Tome of Repetition. So that might not be the worst plan. They definitely have some kind of a trick here. Yes. Yes. The big thing is that a lot of Aegis like this is going to be nice. Okay, unseal one of them, but we still get another copy.
It's all mine.
And I don't know if I want to attack again yet, because I might want to actually Tome of Repetition next turn, make it a little bit larger. Still have Equivocate. Yeah, this is probably fine. Let's take our damage while we can. We never know if they're just going to have a bunch of, like, Elysian Merchants and things to kind of shut things down. And I can stop that a bit with Equivocates, but We've just got to be careful. Auric Runehammer. Kill the 1/4. But if we draw an undepleted power source, we can actually Azindel. It will mean that it'll just pop the Aegis, but it might be worthwhile. Kinda cool. I mean, we're currently still just getting in with everything. So, I mean, how much do we need to put more onto the board? Maybe go for the Wisdom here. Another Equivocate. Alright, I'm actually going to Tome. Get 3 secret pages. Clear our deck out real well. Kill the Runehammer. They have to have multiple removal spells to get rid of Horde Plunderer. Okay, there's one. And Harsh Rule. Alright. I'm pretty okay using one of these just to get a different 3-drop. Have something. Ooh, nice. Got an Aegis unit. That's actually excellent. And now we can just continue to play more threats again. Piece by piece. One at a time. Nice and slow. I'm going to hold on to 1 because we do actually have the merchants still. And we want to hold up Equivocate where we can just buy back our Azindel. So if they have like a Vanquish here, I'll just Equivocate it back to our hand. Ooh. So is that just conceding? They might have a power card to play a Desert Marshal. Well, this looks pretty bad. They could also Vanquish it. Nope. We get the game. Nice. Oh, nothing feels better than punishing Temporal. And up to Diamond, 4-0. Okay, here we are in the finals. We have 3 power. We're so close to this being good. I think that I keep it. It's a little dicey. Can we go 5-0? It's a tough thing to do, honestly. But this one's looking kind of nice. Okay, that's good. So we're just going to start with the Crest. That means that we can hold up Equivocate next turn. We don't need Surgeon Saw, as much as I like the card. We'd rather get more power cards, or like a Horde Plunderer or something. Maybe something cheap that we can put a Tome of Repetition on. And speak of the Devil, excellent for us. This is an interesting choice. So we can go for another Shadow for Vara, Vengeance Seeker. Or we could wait, because we're fairly likely to need double Primal. Oh, no. What am I talking about? We have another Shadow. Okay. I was going to say we need double Shadow, a double Primal for a lot of, like, Wisdom of the Elders. I don't know why I thought that we only had one. Anointer of the Faithful. Quite a sweet little card. Get to bond out another one. I think, with that being their first play, we're just going to want to Equivocate that. Because that's going to mean that they're going to try for Copperhall Paladin almost for sure. And that's a nice little combo where they get like a free weapon on it and immediately gives them a Justice. Makes it like a 4/5 lifesteal Paladin. It's just nasty. We don't need that happening. I'd rather get rid of it. And now when they play something, we can Vara, and then the next turn we Horde Plunderer plus double Tome of Repetition. And we are firmly in the driver's seat, I feel like.
Defend the throne!
Sure. Crownwatch Paladin's pretty cool. It's not as cool as Vara.
Now it's my turn.
Nice thing about this, too, is that it actually gets around the Aegis. I mean, like, even if things were allowed to have Aegis, because it's a choose, it's kind of sweet. Alright, that to me suggests that they have a Vanquish. Which is annoying. Or Slay. Okay, sure. Similar. I wish that we'd had that Surgeon Saw again, because buying this back would be sweet. But we've got a fair bit of gas still. Do need to stop drawing power eventually.
It's all mine.
We're still doing pretty good, though. We're not under a whole lot of pressure. It's only been able to attack in once. We're similar in terms of cards. We just have a lot more power than they probably do. And we did just thin a lot out of our deck, so we're likely to draw some pretty good things. Oh, Bright Mace Paladin? That is not what I expected.
Send a message.
And if that's it, we get to wipe out their board. Yikes. Unfortunately, that is the last thing we get to do, and another power card is particularly scary. Feeding Time both, and kill that. Man, Tome of Repetition is pretty disgusting. I wasn't sure how much I liked the card at first, because I'm like, well, it costs 6 to use. But realistically, it's been really awesome for us. And there's the Vanquish. Okay, well, we're in top deck mode. We've got a lot of power, though. So our odds of hitting something useful are going to be high. Like that. Good. Something like Azindel would be nice. I'm going to start holding on to this last power card because we do have the Aurelian Merchants we've got to be careful of too. Nice. Alright, excellent. So we're just going to get back probably Vara, honestly. I could actually just play Vara right now. Sure.
Now it's my turn.
Would you like to sacrifice? Cool. Hopefully they don't have a harsh rule, but they don't seem like the deck that would run it. They're kind of aggro paladins, and that to me doesn't suggest that there would be a harsh rule. A lot of power cards, but we're also going to get a lot of gas. I don't really need a Banish. They don't have any board, and they're unlikely to have a board that really interacts with this. Certainly not a board that's cheap that interacts with this, although they immediately hit that, so I guess I'm wrong. Oh, they might have a harsh rule in the market. That I can definitely see. So that could be an issue. Like, I would 99% run a harsh rule in most markets if I'm running Windchest Merchant. Just because it's a nice swingy card to get back into games like this. They might have a Vanquish too. They're certainly tanking on it. They're thinking really hard. So that might be what the decision is. Wow. Wow, that's just despicable. Like, that's so gross. That's so gross. Thinking about how I want to do this. We can't quite kill them. Because unfortunately it bumps up one creature with killer. And then the other one's still only 6. I didn't really have to use the killer, because I could have just attacked and they'd have to block. Alright, cool. I figured that the only way out was just to have like a harsh rule anyways, so realistically the killer's not going to matter for the next turn. That was my thought process anyways. I could have been wrong on that. It might have made sense to just attack with it, because it's essentially the same thing, but it just was faster, and like I said, I kind of assumed that they would have to be killing our units to actually have it change, so the killer wouldn't really matter because it's going to be in the void anyways. And it keeps the killer. One of the cool things that you might not have noticed about both Gleaming Shield and about the Cirso's Cleaver is that the weapon gives the unit Cleaver on summon. Like, the unit gives the Cleaver on summon. It gives the unit the ability on summon. So it's not like a lot of them say, like, Elder's Feather, right? So if you have, like, Elder's Feather, it just says that the unit, it gives the unit flying because it has flying itself. Cirso's Cleaver and the Gleaming Shield kind of cards work a little bit different. They actually give the unit that on summon. So what's cool is that when you use Surgeon Saw to buy them back, buy back the units that have gotten Killer, they actually have Killer again automatically, even without a Cleaver on them, which is pretty cool. So there's some cool stuff that you can do like that. And yeah, I mean, this deck was pretty awesome. If you want to check out all of the decisions that I made and where you can kind of change it yourself, customize it, you can check the deck tech, which is down below. There's a video deck tech as well. And thanks everybody so much for watching. I really do appreciate all the support that I get from the channel. And of course, if you haven't I really appreciate a follow, a like, and a subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It does help out a whole lot. I know everybody asks for them, but they are pretty big, and this is my job, so it helps out a lot. And I have a new channel shirt, by the way, which is also down below in the link, and of course an inkgaming.com store. So inkgaming.com is one of my wonderful sponsors, and they do some amazing custom gear. I'm using a custom mouse pad from them right now, in fact. And I will be back again next week with another deck tech. Have a wonderful time.